try something, but your world would have crumbled. Caught behind that.
And this is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5.
Face, you always have fun.
Indisputably the biggest thing on radio anywhere in Liberia at this time. My name is Julius J. We are here. By 5:15 thereabouts, we're taking some sports people, but before then, a whole lot to talk about. The 2024 U.S. State Department Human Rights Report is out, and the one on Liberia. We will go through it. That will be after 4 o'clock. Yeah, I know everybody wants to hear about the State Department report. Yeah, we will, as we have always done over the years, especially since 2020. We read all these reports when they come out. We discuss them, so we will not stop now.
No chance, no hope for those who kept it a-going. 'Cause you never know that the truth was showing.
It is really, really, really juicy. It is a very juicy report. Interesting, but not surprising. All of those things are things we've spoken about. So, yeah. It's almost like a recap. Before then, we'll talk about a whole lot of other things. The chairman of the CDC came out with some statements. We will also talk about the eviction of CDC from that property and all of those. So many other things that are happening. We'll talk about them in this hour. So share the video, invite others to join it. It is quite an interesting set of things to talk about, and trust me, you want to keep in tune. You really do want to do that. Fact check is ahead as well. A blockbuster report by the Liberian Investigator. All of that ahead. So there's a whole lot. I told you, a whole lot in this hour. Just sit back, enjoy it. It will swing from here to there and come back and turn around. It's one of those days when everybody has a part to get angry or to get happy about. By the way, counter meter is still way ahead, but counters are already flexing. I know that Maryland has already appointed a steering committee chair for the county meet, Josephus Keto. But Cape Mount Cape Mount signed one outlandish Atletico Madrid coach. Why is his name slipping my head? Or the young Mourinho-like kind of coach, quite abrasive, quite fiery, and they are jumping all over the place that they have signed a new coach for County Meath. Well, that hasn't been Cape Mount's problem for years now, and last year. That is last County Meath. We know that a medicine man, a fetish priest, a spiritist, a man steeped in wizardry, came out by himself and said he had jinxed, he had swore, he had placed a spell on Cape Mount. Now they won't win anything because he made medicine for them the last time they won, and they did not pay him. They have not gone to solve that problem. Not just that, another businessman came up too. I spoke to that businessman on the show, and he told us that Cape Mount had taken a whole lot of things from him and used facilities and all that stuff, and they didn't pay. So two very strong spells, one out of wizardry, witchcraft behavior, and the other one out of feeling bad. They have not gone to pay the people. They say they signed new coach. They'll be there. That coach will just dress fine and dance all over the place as he does, and it will end in the same thing. Did you listen yesterday to the clash on the show right at the end? We will bring you some snippets. So you have a whole lot of juicy things. But French President Emmanuel Macron has acknowledged the violence committed by his country's forces in Cameroon during and after the Central African nation's struggle for independence. It followed a joint report by Cameroonian and French historians examining France's suppression of independence movements from 1945 to 1971. In a letter to Cameroon's President Paul Biya made public on Tuesday, Macron said the report made clear a war had taken place in Cameroon, during which the colonial authorities and the French army exercised repressive violence of several kinds in certain regions of the country. Former Malian Prime Minister Choguel Kokala Maiga was arrested on Tuesday on accusations of corruption, his lawyer said, as the West African country's military junta has ramped up arrests of top politicians in recent weeks. Maiga was questioned earlier this month as part of a probe into allegations of misuse of public property. He served as Prime Minister from 2021 until his dismissal in November 2024, just days after he criticized the regime for postponing elections. He continued to criticize the junta after leaving office. Earlier this month, another former Prime Minister, Moussa Mara, was imprisoned after tweeting his support for jailed critics of the ruling military junta. Mali has been ruled by military leaders since a junta seized power in 2020 and staged another coup the following year. And at least 40 people have been killed in an attack on a camp for displaced people in Sudan's Western Darfur region, according to an aid group that works there. The Abu Shouk Emergency Response Room said Monday's assault was carried out by the Rapid Support Forces (RSF). The resistance committee is nearby El Fasher City, made up of local citizens and activists, also reported this. El Fasher, which came under intense attack as well, is the last major foothold in Darfur for the army and its allies, which have been fighting the paramilitary RSF in the 2-year civil war. A whole lot of you have joined us now. Share the video, invite others to join in. Very good. Yeah, man. Keep my man. I go pay the man, man. Pay the man's money. Pay the people. That's that man. Yeah, you signing new code. You getting blood. You getting dressed. You be jumping all over the place. Yeah. Emel do all that his tactic. You still know me, but there's a jinx on you. And also updates from in fact, this is the breaking news. The final results of the Nimba County District 5 representative by-election. Kwagu Koto Sewongbe of the Movement for Democracy and Reconstruction has been declared as winner. National Elections Commission NEC has released the final results. That is the breaking news. AMDR continues to pull Nimba here and there and proving supremacy in that county. As much as there were issues about who was supporting him and not supporting him, he has come out with 31.39% of the vote. 4,795 was closely contested by Boris B. Ballier. 3,938 vote, 25.78%. Coming in third with 20% of the vote was Augustus Kanle Menkoa with 3,080 votes, 20.16%. So that is that, coming in straight from the National Elections Commission. Let's take a break. After this break, we will take our fact check, and after the fact check, we come here, rumble into the issues that really do matter. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5.
Your real property taxes. Your real property taxes.
My people, you don't hear it? The LRA people, the people then that can collect government taxes, they say that it's time now to pay your real estate tax. Whether you get house or you get land in a city or outside the city, the LRA people say that it's time to pay your tax from now to July 1 this year. The people from the LRA will be in your community to tell you everything you need to know. So look out for them. They will come and teach you everything you need to know about paying your taxes for your properties. Just cooperate when you see them in your community. In your knowing, when you pay tax, all of us can enjoy. When you pay your tax on your land or your house, the government will do plenty fun things for all of us. Pay tax, we all enjoy.
You can pay even when you living uptown. Pay your real property taxes. Pay your real property taxes.
Things are on me, with an emergency. How do I manage again?
Potano, why are you sitting here just talking by yourself?
Julie, I need money quick. I want to go find somebody to credit me. Then I will pay them as soon as I get paid with the more in.
EcoBank can credit you, but the only thing you have to pay in 1 month, and the good thing, the interest are just 3%.
For you?
Yeah, just go to any EcoBank branch and you ask for the form to enroll you on their salary advance platform. When they get you the form, you fill it up and you make sure your HR sign it. Then you take that form back to the bank. After you carry it to the bank, they will send you a message to let you know that you're already on the platform. Then you can use the *326# and request for 50% of your salary. Instantly, you will receive it.
Wow, just like that? Bring it to more money, Judy. I'm going to the bank to pick up the phone quick.
Yo, go get the form quick. In less than 1 week, you will receive the money. And what I like about it, and they can't even ask you for collateral set.
I'm going there right now. No wasting time, oh.
I'm not saying you must not go there right now. You must make sure you pay the bank money back.
Hey, Judy, that you talking so, I will pay back quick so I can credit again. EcoBank not easy, oh. EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
Good day and welcome to the Fact Check segment. This segment debunks disinformation and provides the verified facts of statements made online and on the radio. On June 3rd, former Finance Minister Samuel Twe claimed that he signed a 10-year electricity financing agreement with the World Bank during the CDC administration. To verify this claim, we contacted Mr. Twe requesting a copy of the agreement or sources supporting his claim. However, he did not respond to our inquiry before the production of this fact-check report. We will update this report once we get a response from him. We then searched the websites of various credible news outlets, the World Bank, the Ministry of Finance, and the Executive Mansion to ascertain whether the government of Liberia signed financing agreements with development partners between 2018 and 2023. We found on the World Bank's website that in 2020, the George Weah administration approved a 3-phase national electrification strategy to be supported by the World Bank to achieve universal access to electricity for Liberia by 2030. On March 12, 2021, the World Bank approved the Liberian Electricity Sector Strengthening and Access Project, a multi-phase programmatic approach with a total financing envelope of US $190 million, including an indicative IDA amount of US $180 million. The first phase of this project was signed in April 2021 by Twe for US $64.2 million to improve the electricity sector. Meanwhile, the current administration under President Joseph Boakai signed Phase 2 of the project with the World Bank in July 2024 to expand Liberia's electricity sector in rural areas. This signing was done by then Finance Minister Boeman Kamara. Based on our research, we conclude that there is no evidence to support the claim made by former Finance Minister Samuel Twe that he signed a 10-year electricity financing agreement with the World Bank during the CDC administration. Evidence shows that Mr. Twe signed the first phase of the agreement in April 2021, and the current administration has signed the second phase. On August 8, former Representative Akaros Gray claimed on Spoon Talk that former President George Weah received the highest number of votes in Montserrat County in the midterm senatorial election than any other candidate. Gray made this claim in reaction to Senator Sir Joseph's claim that he got more votes than former President George Weah during the 2023 general elections. Gray argues that despite the 20% vote turnout in the 2014 midterm senatorial election in Montserrat County, Weah won with 78% of the votes. This, he said, surpassed Senator DeLong's 61% in 2020 and Sir Joseph's 58% in 2018 and 2023. To verify this claim, we reviewed the National Elections Commission's results portal, specifically the midterm senatorial elections in Montserrat County between 2014 and 2023. In the 2014 special senatorial election in Montserrat County, then-candidate George Weah won the election with 99,226 or 78% of the total votes. For the 2020 midterm senatorial election in Montserrat County, incumbent Senator Abraham Daros DeLong won with 206,368 or 61% of the votes. Meanwhile, a review of the NEC results portal revealed that Senator Sir Joseph has won 2 senatorial elections in Montserrat County with 54 and 56% and not 58% as claimed by Gray. Based on these facts, we conclude that a claim made by former Representative Akaras Gray that former President George Weah won the most votes in the midterm senatorial elections in Montserrat County than anyone else is misleading. Senator Abraham Darros DeLone has won the most votes in a midterm senatorial election in Montserrat County. This is all we have time for on the Fact Check segment. This segment is part of an MOU between Local Voices Liberia, OKFM, Pram FM, and Care Radio to counter disinformation to help the public make informed decisions. This MOU is funded by the Liberia Media Empowerment Project, implemented by Internews with funding from the European Union. The funder or partner had no say in the editorial decision leading to the production of this Fact Check segment. We will be back on Friday with more Fact Check reports to help you know the facts. My name is Olivia Bowen. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Welcome back. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5. Let's start from the National Elections Commission, where it says NEC Liberia releases final result for the Nimba County District 5 representative by-election. Declares Kwagu Koto Sewongbe of the Movement of Democracy and Reconstruction, MDR, as winner. So, what are the numbers? Contesting in this election were Balie Boris B., an independent candidate who got 3,938 votes, that's 25.78%. Kakbo Ibrahim of LTP, 779 votes, 5.1%. Kwagu Koto Sewongbe MDR, 4,795 votes, 31.39%. Mambia Takbo A Independent, 476 votes, 3.12%. Menkoa Augustus Kane of Volt, 3,080 votes, 20.16%. Miame C. Bokoa of Lainu, 79 votes, 0.52%. Wei Junior Joseph Gondi LPDP, 285 votes, 1.87%. Williams Co. Independent, 816 votes, 5.34%. Wongbe Madi Kama of Rebuilders Party, 20 votes, 0.13%. Uo Jackson Suomi NDC, 1,006 votes, 6.59%. Total valid votes, 15,274. Total invalid votes, 475. Total votes, 15,749 people went to the polls. And Kwagu, who won 4,795, that's 31.39%, has won the by-election edition number 5. He will be replacing Samuel Koga, who is now a senator, also on the MDR ticket. So, the MDR continues. The MDR continues to prove supremacy in that part of the country, that's Nimba County. But we'll see what comes out of it. But we'll say congratulations to him so far. Congratulations. Okay. Our HR man, Emmanuel Wisdom Gade, is celebrating his birthday today. So we say happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Wishing you all of God's choicest blessings. a whole lot of things to talk about, but let us start from here. If you didn't listen yesterday, this is an opportunity for you to listen, to have a feel of what. So, I have called Musa Belete, representative and also political leader of CMC. We talked to CMC, and then he wrote something yesterday accusing the leadership of the House of Representatives, making a very bold claim that they have used up all of their money for the year, and that the only thing left there is for them to be paying salary. That's a bold claim because we just passed the middle of the year, just past the middle of the year, and to say they've already used up their budget, and because of this, they are interested in the executive resubmitting the budget for a recast, so as to replenish, put some more money there for the legislature, all that stuff. He feels it is wrong and all of that. And so Representative Thomas of Monserrado County phoned in and disagreed with Representative Belete. In fact, I asked Representative Belete, how would they use all of that money? He alleged that possibly it was some of the money used to remove Kofa, to create disturbances in the house and all that kind of stuff. So there was a clash between both of them. Let's listen to it, and I will tell you so far what has happened. So let's listen. Okay. Thanks so kindly, sir. Let me talk to Representative Michael Thomas. I think he's co-chair on Ways, Means, Finance. Let me speak with him quickly. We don't have enough time, but let's see. Representative Thomas, welcome.
Hey, Julius, what's up? What's up to mobility?
Yeah, you are the. I understand you're the co-chair on Ways, Means, Finance.
Yeah, especially for expenditure.
Yeah, Representative Belete is alleging that you've already used up your operational funds, and you are so much eager to have this budget recast so that you can fill up what you've already used. What do you say to that?
So the thing is, on mobility, our own big brother has been so busy with his formation of a party, and he being so busy into this Nima election, and he's not following current events.
What following that?
And the net is nature. So even today, there was a meeting with the entire leadership at the Ministry of Finance, minister, deputy ministers, the Controller General, and the rest of the other guys. So the Ministry of Finance under Minister Kafwan introduced what we call the cash plan system, where at the beginning of the fiscal year, you break down your budget into quarters. Because of the availability and the sourcing of funding relative to the revenue intake, your expenditure is basically based on your cash plan submitted. It's just a procurement plan. So in your cash plan, assuming one line, you say, okay,
sir, because the time is not enough, maybe I could allow you come in to tomorrow to go.
They got money.
That is why I want you to go to.
We just concluded second quarter. How can we say we have expended fourth quarter money or allotment for the budget?
I dare you to show a report that shows that you take that money on the land. I dare you. I dare you. Stop lying to the people. You know the
budget performance report for the first quarter, Julius.
Let him send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me.
Let the man show to you. Wait. Let him show to you that he has money in the account. He got nothing there.
You will see the detail of expenditure line by line.
Okay.
So the answer is no. We have not exhausted how possible it is. You in second quarter and you have expended up to fourth quarter. No honorability. Let's take politics out of everything. This is leadership. This is administration.
Okay.
Can you show us? Can you promise the Liberian people now on this air? Can you promise the Liberian people now on this air that you are going to give us the legal? No. Can you make a promise to Liberian people.
Ministry of Finance. Go and look at it. Go and read it, Chief.
No. Chief, you are co-chair for Ways and Means. Can you promise Julius J on the show that by tomorrow
You should be promising lawmaker. You have an authority. You have.
Okay, because the news is coming up. The news are coming up. So let's do this. Representative Thomas.
make a promise that you will give it to the man tomorrow.
Okay, so and so Representative Thomas, can you join us at 5 o'clock tomorrow so that we look at all of these things?
Let him bring a report to you. We don't want to hear empty story. Let him bring a report.
I'm just giving you the information that the Liberia government operates under the
So and so how much left there, sir? How much you get in your operational account?
Nothing. They finish it all.
But you said money stayed there, sir. So
but I'm telling you, we operating based on cash flow.
but Chief, I know now. I know that you operating on.
The information on the benefit giving you is false.
No, but he's saying that there is no money there, and you are saying money there, and so can you tell us how much there?
He is not always Mr. Finance. He is not part of the leadership.
I agree, sir. And so I agree, sir. But Chivo, since you're on the radio now, let me agree with you for the sake of the argument that what he's saying is not true. He's saying that there is no money there, and you are saying it is not true. So I am asking you how much is left there. You can just say that to the Liberian people before we even come to the documents.
Julius, we talking.
He will never answer you.
We talking.
That man will never answer you. That man who ordered, he kept crying for money. He didn't even know what happening.
Better you say you're a regional man. So why you say somebody crying for money? Can't get me money
not for
now.
you. I'm doing fine. I'm just okay. But my money is not for you. And the money you're playing with is not for y'all. It's for the people.
You gotta be specific when you give information to the public. You have a distinguished.
Tell the people that Allah. I said the budget we passed the last time. The money that was there for the legislature, you're finishing it.
You don't know. That is another information. That is a blanket information.
Bring documents to prove me wrong.
Misleading. It doesn't represent you as a distinguished member of this party that you profess to support. That is wrong. You can't be giving misleading information to the public.
Okay, thanks so kindly, gentlemen. I'll try to get back in touch with both of you and see what we can get. But thanks so kindly, sir.
That man will not tell you nothing. That's no flaw. They finish getting all the money.
Thanks so kindly. Representative Thomas, let me call you after the show. Okay, so that is how it went down on yesterday. And then during the night hours when I went home, I phoned Representative Thomas. I actually wanted him to come on today, 5 p.m. He said he doesn't want to come on show to talk about that. He doesn't want to dignify, that's the word. What he calls the lies, the claims that are coming from representatives are not true. So I asked him if there was something to send me so that I could be able to know where to start from. He said, well, the Ministry of Finance should be preparing the midterm report to have it released. So I should wait for that midterm report. So they should release it maybe next week or week after next or so. So that midterm report will be able to see what they've expended and what is left in their coffers. Yeah. I also tried reaching out to the chairman, Representative P. McJury of Maryland County. I tried calling him last night. I couldn't get him. He didn't answer. Initially, when I was on the show, I phoned. He answered. And my producer told him that I needed him to get to respond to Representative Verite. He said they were in meeting at that time, so he didn't McCoy, and that's how Representative Thomas himself phoned in. So, so far so good. That is where we are. We don't know now in the public. I don't think we know where we can stand on this. Ability is in fact, Ability went further to write again last evening to the finance minister about this very same issue. So let's see what he wrote. Why am I behind this? Because it's a very major claim. Now, it is their budget. It is supposed to go the whole year. It is their business if they can use it quickly. But the claim is that to add up to that is the fact that he's alleging that they are so interested in the budget being recast so that they can give, allegedly, some more money to the legislature. Representative Thomas says, no, we because the year is divided in 4 quarters. Every 3 months make a quarter. So we've gone January, February, March. That's 1 quarter. April, May, June, that's another quarter. So July, August, September will be 1 quarter. October, November, December will be another quarter. He's saying we've gone 2 quarters. So we have not touched the other 2 quarters money that we're supposed to use. That's what Representative Thomas is. So I felt it was a simple question because he's in the ways means he knows how much you put there to be expended in terms of their operational funds and all those kinds of things. And of course, they do all of the right things. I thought at this point, because the second quarter ended, let me see, January, February, March, April, May, June, ended June. July, August, I think he should know what they expended and what is left for the next 2 quarters. But even up to last night, he did not say so. Now, this doesn't mean that Ability is right or that he is false. It's just that perhaps sometimes people don't pay attention to those things. But we will see, because at this point, you can't do anything unless you see the numbers, the people who are there. And Ability is very, 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 very absolutely intransigent and adamant on this thing. This is why he wrote to the finance minister last evening. To Comrade Honorable Augustine K. Gaffon, Minister of Finance and Development Planning. Honorable Minister, in recent days, I have made public a matter of grave national concern that the House of Representatives has already exhausted its fiscal allotment for the 2025 fiscal year. This is not a light accusation. It strikes at the heart of fiscal discipline, transparency, and the credibility of the legislature as a custodian of the public purse. My assertion has been met with denials from some of my colleagues. They dismiss it as untrue, suggesting that the House remains well within its budgetary space. But words alone do not resolve matters of public finance. Only facts, backed by official records, can. Therefore, in a spirit of accountability, public trust, and the constitutional obligation for transparent governance, I call upon you, Honorable Minister, to immediately publish the Budget Performance Report for fiscal year 2025 to date, particularly detailing the allotments, disbursements, and expenditures of the House of Representatives. Let the people see for themselves. Let the truth stand on its own legs, whether it vindicates my assertion or disproves it. Our citizens deserve nothing less than clarity about how their money is being used, especially in a time when our nation struggles to fund basic services from hospitals and schools to roads and food security. Honorable Minister, the Ministry of Finance is not merely an accounting office, it is a guardian of the Republic's fiscal integrity. At a time when public confidence in government spending is low, you have the opportunity, and indeed the duty, to demonstrate that the public purse is not a private wallet. My colleagues may seek to turn this into a political dispute. I will not. This is not about politics. It is about numbers. It is about transparency. It is about the Liberian people's right to know. If the House is within its budget, let the report show it. If it is not, let us face the truth, accept responsibility, and make the necessary corrections. Sir, this is your moment to stand for openness. Publish the report. Prove me right or wrong. And in so doing, prove to the Liberian people that we, their leaders, have nothing to hide. Okay. So, let's give you 5 minutes messages, calls to tell us. What do you make of that before we go to the other issues? You know, the issues are many, so we got to clear up certain things, then move to another ones. Let's clear up this, or then go to the next. There are a whole lot of stories coming up. We bundle them together, run over them, then we take calls again, then we go to the report now. Take calls and we take our guests at 5:15. We have a whole lot to do, but let's just. What do you make of this whole saga, and what could you recommend? Welcome. Let's hear you.
Julius.
Yeah. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Julius, I'm Theophilus Tito the second, and I'm in Monrovia. Thank you for the conversation this afternoon. But Julius, I think Representative did not do well, and I think he still is not doing well. You make allegations against a colleague. You did not first investigate. You did not first call on the Minister of Finance to publish, the request that he's asking for now. And he made this allegation when her far has even come into the radio. You have not even yet gotten anything from the Ministry of Finance, and in fact, you did not do the investigation, then you came up with a letter to the Ministry of Finance. Look,
hello?
Hello, Julius?
Don't you think the way he's making that allegation, he is in the room. He should know what is happening. He should know the discussions that are happening. You do not think he has information of what is happening, and why also do you think the other side could not just say, no, this is it, this is how much you have used and this is how much you have left?
So, Julius, I agree because he's in the room, right? So I'm in a room with you, Julius, and I see something, or maybe something come to my attention that is not good. I must properly investigate before I come up with allegations involving you, who is my colleague in the room. Okay, because if I'm coming up with information, it means I have evidence to the information.
Okay, so let me agree with you that you are right. So if, for example, someone made those claims against you that our money we hire, Toby has used all, I only pay left. What will you say? You say no, I didn't use all. We have used so far this, and this is what is left, right?
Of course, that's what I would do, right? But then what I want Mr. Ability to understand is, because he is one of the respected lawmakers in this country, and so what we want him to do first is that I think the communication he sends to the Minister of Finance is good, but I think that he should have done it first.
Okay.
Before coming up with the allegation.
Thanks so kindly. Welcome. Let's hear you. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Thank you, Julius. My name is Mame Sikava. While I Representative Ability did extremely well, I think he's playing the role of Senator Dillon, who promised the Liberian people of openness at the legislature, and especially for a government that came to power on a matter of change, whoever practices openness should be commended, and I must commend him. I also believe that the information he provided to the public is accurate. Honorable Thomas's accusation or clarification is absolutely a cover-up.
Representative, yes, he made the allegations. He stands by his allegation and all of that, but others are arguing too that he needed to do more fact-finding before coming out.
No, he didn't have to. The first thing you have to understand, these are lawmakers that are accountable to their people. When there is a grave allegation that has to do with the interest of the people, and journalists called you or you called on the radio, you have an obligation to clear the doubts of your citizens that you represent. I am not a financial expert, but I work in administration and I deal with finance. To get the balances they have is just as simple as anything. The first thing, they have copy of their budget. They can easily contact their controller. The controller can give you the balances, and you can check on that line what have been used and what is there will be showing. It's not anything difficult. So the fact that they are acting that this is about flying from earth going to hell or heaven It shows that they are guilty of the allegation.
Okay.
It's just unfortunate that a government that came to power on the matter of change will decide to be very corrupt beyond imagination.
Thanks so kindly. We'll hold you right there. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Thank you, Julius. This is for the Prince Colaket, and I'm from District 5.
Go ahead.
At least Mama see Kawada and I resume.
That one, it is not your business. Yeah, just talk your own. The same way you call it, everybody has the right. So talk your own and leave them.
Okay, thank you. Like I said, I'm Prince Colaket. So the allegation that have been proffered by Honorable Musa Berete, I think it's a grave allegation. So what we need from the lawmaker, because I listened to Representative Thomas, who said that there is still money within the account. In fact, they are not exhausted the entire budget that was allocated to them. So who is saying true, who is saying lie? So it's now for the HR to come up to tell us in duty.
No, the HR doesn't have anything to do with that thing. That's a controller, I think. That is what you meant.
Yeah. So like I said, it's a grave allegation, and we want Thomas to tell how much was there. And in fact, Berete did not tell what was the full money that was allotted, and it have gone. So we need proper explanation.
Okay.
No one knows who's right, who's wrong.
Thanks so kindly. Let's take this one, and then we'll take messages. We'll move on to the next issues. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon, Julius. Lorenzo Prince will work on the Rafi Highway. Let me say thanks to Honorable Berete for raising some of these issues. But Julius, I think Honorable Berete did not do well for us, It is important that whenever you are accusing people, the facts should be available. Now the accusations were made, and then after making the accusation, then you asking the final ministry for facts. But I think the facts should have been available before making the accusation, and then in that point or in that moment you can present the facts. I think they're going to help the public as well. But again, like I said, he did not do well. It's important that we flag some of these things, but when we flagging them, the facts should be available.
Okay. Thanks so kindly. Let's take the final one. Will be former Representative Akaras Gray. Akaras, welcome.
Thank you very much, Julius. How are you, brother?
I'm fine.
Yeah, all right. Let me come quickly to Honorability. Honorability has made a grave accusation, a very strong accusation. Under the rules of the House of Representatives, false information is punishable. False or misleading information. Bringing the body to public disrepute is also punishable. And with the kind of a statement that Honorability has made, in my mind, if it had been a misinformation or bringing the body to public disrepute, but now they were highly suspended or expelled from the legislature. I'm convinced that the guys exhausted the budget. It's not a strange thing.
Now that's the question I want to ask you. Is it possible that it can happen, like to like get all of your money before the time you're supposed to get it?
We flagged this issue before, and I think the reason why Honorability is flagging it because there could be a likelihood that during the fight, the guys credited a lot of money to sustain the fight. So for this budget year, they may have exhausted it to do payments. Maybe they credited some money from other friends and other investors or whatsoever. This is not strange. I look at, we raised this issue before when we were there about the legislative budget being used before they concluded time. So these guys, I believe that this will be entering, I think, the fourth quarter now. It will be entering the fourth quarters. Okay, yeah, the fourth quarter.
We'll be entering the fourth quarter in October.
Yeah, in October. That's what So at this third quarter, I can tell you, I'm convinced that they took that money, they used that money and figure out where get the money. When you hear in the legislature one man raising an issue of such of credibility, it means a lot of lawmakers are in line with it, but they're quiet. Even those who may have brought the administration to power, the current speaker to power, some of them are disappointed, so they will remain quiet and they will provide the information. Watch, if the guys bring that information, there will be chaos on the floor. But Honorability knows exactly what he's saying. That's why he asked the Minister of Finance. And the Minister of Finance said, look, can you provide the information? If the speaker mean well, he was immediately there was someone, the committee on Westminster Finance, there was someone the Ministry of Finance, They will summon the office of the controller at the Capitol building. It happened before, and let them provide explanation. But to argue, because you asked a very sensitive question to the co-chairman that I respect a lot. You asked him, Mr. Co-chairman, how much have you exhausted?
Mm-hmm.
He stuttered. He fumbled. He crumbled. He could not have said it should be like this. It should be like this from his finger tip, because he's the co-chairman of the committee. Okay? So for the co-chairman to even fail to come on air, for the co-chairman, other people get shot, but now they say we'll suspend you. You lying on the legislature. There is something on it. And honorability, I think its objective is to tell the people, say, look, you guys are desperate hustlers. Few of them, not all. They want to destroy the Liberian people. They're not putting the money in the rightful direction. So what do you think that the legislative budget, I think it was $3 million for operation 2024. But then it went up to almost $13 million United States dollars in the autumn. So watch it. That's what honorability is saying. The Senate, you listened to Senator McGill last night, he said, for many of the senators say they don't want to come, but some members of the House of Representatives pushing to come back to close up on their money. Some of the guys are eating that money. They won't, when the recast come, they will put that money in some kind of way, and then they will tell their colleagues will still have money there. That's why honorability is pushing. Let's see the final report from the Ministry of Finance on what we have.
Governors can be deep.
Well that when the budget comes, the guys will manipulate and replenish that money in the budget. That's why he's saying, let's see it now. And this is the kind of a criminal cartel that we are talking about, Julius.
Thanks to currently former representative. Let's take another former lawmaker. Let's give him the courtesy. Let's hear his opinion. David Coty, welcome.
Thank you very much. Three quick issues.
Yeah, even though you're on our National Transitional Legislative Assembly, but you're still a former lawmaker. Go ahead.
At least I was there. I was there. I was there. This is why you call me former lawmaker.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
I'm not like those who they will call.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Thank you. All right, three quick issues. Number one, to make this thing good for us, I want to let the people in the legislature, especially the House, know that the money they're playing with in there is not from anybody's cocoa farm in there. It's our money. So somebody out of the head of the group that should please come out and tell us exactly what's happening. It is our money. Number two, if Mr. Ability is wrong, I think some steps should be taken against him. Like Mr.
Former Representative Gray.
Yeah, Gray just said, this is not a good thing. You know, it's like you are trying to grandstand. Grandstanding is not. Anyway, let me just put it this way. I want to admonish the people in there. If Mr. Ability, honorability does not prove, because to come up publicly and say your police stole money, you should be punished. And my sister, Mama C, I want you to know that it is not all, all of the people in the legislature, especially the House, are not all unity partisan. So for people to keep coming every time, they can't want a matter of change or rescue. Yes.
Yeah, but it is Unity Party heading the House now, in terms of the Speaker.
Yeah.
So that you know that is witty.
Oh, look, all of them are not unity partisans. In fact, if you even look at those members of the, those who are in charge of the funds there, may all be other people from other places. So
okay, thanks so kindly, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, let's take another former lawmaker. It is like this is going to take a whole lot, but it is okay, and I really want to hear from Quarry Law, because I really I tried last night. I'm allowed to. I tried to see if one of the people could come in to rubbish the claims by Representative Ability, but I really couldn't get them. Let's take former Representative Wally Sewa Duna, the man who people say we are resemble, but he has abandoned this friendship for a long time. Welcome, sir. You can just put your radio off.
So, thank you for the discussion. I think my successor, Ability, have raised some issues that the House need to address. And like Akara said, if those issues prove to be false, he will be punished but consistent with the rules. But what I really call on is, I heard my colleague, Oral Gray, saying there was a fiscal outturn in surplus of like 13 million. So if that happened in 2024, and then in 2023, there was a fiscal outturn in surplus of 16 million from the same House of Representatives, and almost deputy, various amount of fiscal outturns in excess of millions of what was budgeted. Then the issue is systemic.
But then that means there is some kind of problem that I think Bellete wants to open up.
And then the second part to it is the problem may not only be definitely not only with the legislative financial and royal administration, then the finance ministry, which is the fiscal agent of government, that is supposed to control and ensure fiscal discipline, especially given the fact that resources are needed for critical sector. If you allow one entity to outspend by 16 million in 2023, then what was my friend doing? If you allow 2024, then what was my friend doing again? So I think you guys should follow this matter. Look for the budget. As financial experts, let's see what is happening with this consistent surplus in millions of dollars in the related budget as a new trend since 2018.
Okay.
I never remember it when I said.
Thanks so kindly, sir. So, you see, that's why it is good for these conversations to be sparked up. So for some of you who may not understand what they're saying is, so in the budget, for example, they may say the legislature's budget for this year is, let's say, 10 million. I'm just saying, right? But what they call the outturn is when they finish spending what they're supposed to spend at the end of the year, the finance ministry can come up with a report of how much the entity spent. So even though from the beginning of the year they said they budgeted 10 million for the legislature, but sometimes when the report comes up, then they say the legislature spent 17 million, 20 million, 23 million, for example now. And it has been consistent where what is budgeted for, they go beyond. Now, Bellete's accusation is they finished using what was budgeted. So if there is a recast, he is saying they want to put some other money in there to carry them to the end of the year. So by the end of the year, the outturn may show that even though this amount was budgeted for the legislature, but because of that additional money, it goes up. What do they really do with what was already budgeted that their expenditure 2022, 2023, it keeps going up beyond what was budgeted? So it is like the money used to finish in those years, but it's that somebody really highlight it. They really show that light, like in the middle, because the budget year can already finish, and we can't pay too much attention to the outturn, the fiscal outturn reports, and all that stuff. We don't pay too much attention. So it's like it's in the middle. Well, Belete could be true or he could be false, but then he is saying similar thing could happen. Opening up something. Let's speak with another former lawmaker, Gabriel Nyinkan. Folks, we have to bear and stay with this issue. A little significant. I want to hear from current lawmakers, but they're not calling. I don't know why. But let's take former Representative Gabriel Nyinkan. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Dagonde, and let me greet the big brother, Honorable Belete. Let me commend him for his courage, because I believe very strongly that public leadership should embody 5 attributes, one of which is courage. But there will be integrity that goes along with courage. So you have integrity, but you are afraid to speak out, then your integrity is of no use. And that's the reason why we must commend people like Honorable Belete, who muster the courage to flag issues that have questionable flavor. But let me just say this, these whether true or false will only be settled if the legislature lends itself repeatedly to credible audits.
Yes.
That's the point I'm trying to make, And let me say my experience that I had.
Okay, yeah, because I was definitely going to ask you, what was your experience when you were there?
Yeah, I had this experience, for instance, we had decided that we will do oversight. And I said, we cannot do oversight if the public doesn't even know how much we make. So I took upon myself the courage of going to the radio and announcing atom by atom what we were getting. You understand? And trust me, it was on a Tuesday. By the time I returned from, I still remember it was T Max's station, 1550. By the time I got to section, immediately there was an executive declared. So I was surprised. And then Scott Tyler was presiding at the time. And they call, executive sections are held in camera, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering what was the issue, not knowing a few of my colleagues have monitored me and were angry that I was naming atom by atom what were being paid as public officials. And anybody can bear me out. I was threatened with 6 months of suspension. Even some of my own trusted allies that I thought would support me to say, look, you run a transparent legislature, were quite acidly quiet on the floor and I sought to solicit their protection and quite disappointingly I did not succeed. And that's a problem. I don't want to call names, but I have some friends, you know that very well.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they would have come to my rescue because I was being threatened with 6 months. There were people on the floor who were saying, for instance, that the legislature is intended for mature people and people were calling me a child simply because I want to also operate in a transparent way. You understand? Mm-hmm. So unless we are, as a legislature now, saying we are not there anymore, but the legislature must be audited as is consistent with our financial management law. Because the point is, once you are a recipient of government funding, it means you are automatically susceptible to audit. But I don't know why people are shying away from audit. That's the reason why you have all these things always mistaken. For instance, I'll give you another example. We were buying a vehicle, for instance, $45,000. I did not take my car for like how many months? The cars came in 2015. I took my car May of 2016. Why? Because I intended to protest. I was saying the rules are terrible. You buy a $45,000 car away from the government. You cannot even afford to maintain that car, right? So what the essence buying a car that costs $45,000 when in the community, all the others have very terrible rules, and then even you can't have food to eat for the ordinary period. And people threaten me and say, well, man, if you don't take your car, the same thing happened to Rufus Newell, what happened to you? So I said, but what happened to Rufus Newell? So Rufus Newell refused the grand
Cherokee?
Cherokee during the Taylor years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was threatened with suspension as well. Finally, he got suspended, and we know what the story was. So the point I'm trying to make is the legislature, as an oversight body, must subject itself to regular audit so as to be clean enough. Because Jesus has advised us clearly that for you to be able to see the speck in your brother's eye, you must clean up the plank that is blocking your vision.
Okay.
So one of the reasons why the legislators are finding it difficult to even call in now is because a lot of them have this plank blurring the vision. How can they call in now to say we need to clear, the eye of our brothers in the executive? It's going to be difficult.
Okay.
So I just going to commend him and I will support him. Unfortunately, some of us are not there right now, or else we will have been side by side with him on this kind of call for legislative sanity. We need to sanitize the legislature to clean it up so that it gets the rectitude that is required to do oversight on the other side. Thank you so much.
Thanks so kindly, sir, for your call. Very interesting, and we've been pushing for audits of the legislature. I will try to make a sacrifice. I'll try to make some kind of sacrifice. I think I know it is a tough thing. I'm not a financial student, but I've tried to always go through the budget. I have some basic understanding, so I will try to go through the fiscal outturn reports, the budgets and the outturns of the years, perhaps from 2018 all the way to now, and see what the pattern has been. I know it is a tough thing. It's a long, very arduous piece of work to do, but I will try to do that and see maybe tomorrow also to show us the numbers. What did they look like? And then we can start to ask more questions about why these things are always happening. What is happening that the legislature's budget goes? I remember Amara came here and said similar things. Plenty of things can happen, yo. I remember people also telling me how people can allot funds, allegedly, to certain entities to get it back. Lawmakers, legislators. You will see in the entity's budget, let's say, for example, Ministry of Eating, some kind of money, some kind of line will be there, say 1 million for this. But it will not be used for that. They will still go and get that money some kind of way. They know how to do it. And all that stuff. All those things. A whole lot of high level people have explained those kinds of things. You know, countries are deep. Sometimes people have money, you don't know how they have it. There are some people who cannot get poor, no matter how you do it. And there are some people who were diligently empowered, they were lawmakers, they were ministers, they were whosoever, and they live their normal lives. Then we say, oh, he was in government, and he looking at about it was the person, only their salary they were depending on. But certain people too, there's not much else that they're doing that you can see, but money can finish. And they were in some kind of positions. I won't call those positions now. They're certain positions. You know? And let me tell you, a whole lot of people who are lawmakers, a whole lot of them can't know about these kinds of things because we can just bundle the whole legislature and say the legislature corrupt. But sometimes I just few people. Yeah, the other people, they really don't care about all that thing. All they know, let their salary and their benefits come. They go to their committee meetings, they go to plenary and blah, 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 do what they're supposed to do in their district and all that stuff. You will notice that some people will leave power as lawmakers and they really don't have anything. It is not necessarily that some of them were lavish spenders or, all those kinds of things. But it is the fact that they had to be spending some of their salary to do things in their district and all that stuff, and they could not just do more. They were voted out, and they just live their regular lives. If they have other careers, they pursue them. But we can bundle all of them up because they are not aware, they will back up everything that happens. That's why I'm usually against this. Oh, government is corrupt or legislature is corrupt. Sometimes let's try and dig some things, bring some names up. But whatever the case is, we don't know in this situation what it is. We don't know, but we'll try to see what has been the pattern over the years, and perhaps we may have an idea of where this is leading. Okay, so let's go to the other things quickly. Very, 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 very quickly. This is the OK Conversation on OKFM 99.5, and I sincerely appreciate the former lawmakers who called in, who gave their perspectives, who tried to open our eyes more. That is what it should be. So let's go to the Liberian Investigator. Again, anything we do here, we're trying to help the president too. We love the president. We want the president, the government, the country to succeed. So anything we talk here, we're trying to help the president. Plenty of people doing a whole lot of things. So let's go to this report by the Liberian Investigator. Let's read what it says. Documentary evidence, travel records, and insider accounts suggest that President Joseph Newman Boakai may have been misled by members of his own inner circle into formally backing a $44 million biometric identification contract with Austrian firm OSD International, despite the arrangement having been rejected by Liberia's procurement regulator. The controversy arises from a concerning sequence of dates. A June 10, 2025 request from the National Identification Registry to use restricted bidding. a July 5 presidential memo instructing a newly formed steering committee to both finalize the selection of a contractor and uphold the contract signed with OSD, and a July 7 Public Procurement and Concessions Committee letter denying the restricted bid request and ordering an internal competitive process. Are you understanding that? So you all can remember the whole thing with the ID thing and blah blah blah. Then the president sets up a committee and said they should finalize selection, blah blah blah. So what is being reported is that on June 10, 2025, NRR, which is the entity, requested the PPCC that we want restricted bidding. That is, we want say only this particular company should be able to do this. It was on June 10. Then on July 5, the president sets up a steering committee to finalize the selection of the contractor and uphold the contract signed with OSD. Then on July 7, the PPCC says to NRR, no, we can't do restricted bidding. We want you to do an international competitive process. That is, open it up for more companies to bid. The PPCC's rejection, citing violations of the Public Procurement and Concessions Act (PPCA), came 2 days after Boaga's memo appeared to confirm OSD's selection and instructed compliance with what the president described as an already signed contract. The timing raises the key accountability question: who briefed the president and on what basis before the PPCC had made its ruling? The contract and the law. The deal with OSD International, an Austrian technology and high security company specializing in combining analog and digital systems, was framed as the vehicle to implement Executive Order Number 147, which mandates biometric ID cards for all Liberian citizens and residents. Under the arrangement, the NIR and the Liberia Telecommunications Authority will partner with OSD to establish a first-class national identification registry, with the company reportedly pre-financing the project at no cost to government. But the PPCC determined that the proposal, as structured, qualified as a public-private partnership or concession, triggering the need for a formal concession plan under Section 79 of the PPCA and a competitive international tender under Sections 96 and 97. Instead, NIR applied for a no objection to use restricted bidding, bypassing open competition. On July 7, the PPCC finally declined that request, directing NIR to submit a concession plan and open the project to international competitive bidding. And the letter is here that was written. The president's memo and its contradictions. 2 days before that rejection, President Boaga issued memo JNB-MOS RL 2907-2025 to National Security Advisor Samuel Kofi Woods, appointing him chair of a 10-member steering committee drawn from multiple agencies, including the Ministries of Internal Affairs and Foreign Affairs, the LTA, NIR, Central Bank, and National Elections Commission. The memo sets an April 13, 2026 rollout deadline for the ID system, but contains a contradiction at its core. One clause directs the committee to finalize the selection of a contractor. Another insists that previous procurement actions have already led to the selection and verification of OSD and the subsequent signing of a contract, and orders that this previous procurement process be upheld to avoid legal implications. If OSD had truly been selected and contracted before July 5, the sequence would mean a vendor was locked in before Liberia's procurement regulator had issued its ruling, a practice the PPCA does not permit. The PPCC confirms and stands firm. When contacted, PPCC Director of Communication and Public Affairs Nathan Bengu confirmed the Commission issued the July 7 rejection letter to NIR. To the best of my knowledge and research done, there is no other communication from the PPCC to NIR reversing our decision about rejecting the single source bid in favor of OSD, Bengu said. That means there was no legal basis for proceeding with OSD outside of a competitive process. Austria trips as diplomatic layer. Let's go. A separate trail of diplomatic engagement with OSD and Austrian officials unfolded months earlier. From March 23 to 2024, a Liberian delegation led by Foreign Minister Sarah Beslo-Nyanti, Senator Abraham Darius DeLong, Transport Minister Sir Leif Tyler, Deputy Transport Minister Archibald S. Aban, and Assistant Foreign Minister Sarah Caban-Jones visited Austria. In Vienna, the team toured OSD's headquarters, met with Austrian Foreign Minister Beate Mehl-Reisinger, and discussed trade and investment opportunities. According to a report reviewed by the Liberian Investigator, the Austrian minister raised concerns about Liberia's business environment. Dillon reportedly assured him the legislature had taken steps to improve it. The delegation also met Austria's Ministry of Interior and political organizations, advancing discussions on using Austrian technology for national ID cards and driver's licenses. Woos pushes back hard. In an interview with the Liberian Investigator, Samuel Kofi Woos emphatically denied any role in misleading the president or in advising him to commit to the OSD arrangement. I was appointed as chair of the steering committee to implement this thing, Woos said. My job is to review everything that happened prior to my appointment. I was never involved in anything that happened before I was appointed. I have not spoken to anyone alleged to be involved in this matter before my appointment. He added, at no time I advised the president on any issue regarding the national ID card. I have not even gone through all the documents. My role is to review what we have inherited and then make recommendations. Woos repeatedly challenged anyone to produce evidence to the contrary. I challenge anybody in this country or anywhere to show any document where I advise anybody, including the president, on any matter involving the national ID card. There is none. If you have documents you think implicate me, bring them and we'll discuss them. Woos, don't do that thing to me. The National Security Advisor bristled at suggestions he was among those engineering the OSD arrangement. Don't do that thing. Try and correct that thing, I beg you. Woos told the Liberian Investigator. It would be premature, reckless, and irresponsible for me to advise the president without prior inquiry and scrutiny. Whoever did it, I will find the person. Asked about the PPCC's July 7 rejection, Woos said he intends to meet the commission and review all documentation. Can you give me a chance to review this process, to meet the PPCC, sit down with them, get all the documentation from them too? That's my job. The timeline, a rare flag in dates. From the documents obtained by the Liberian Investigator, June 10, 2025, NIR requests PPCC no objection for restricted bidding, estimating project costs at $9.85 million and claiming no cost to government. Encloses NIR certificate for concession and Executive Order 147. July 5, 2025, President issues memo appointing steering committee, directing it both to finalize contractor selection and uphold previous procurement process with OSD. July 7, 2025, PPCC rejects NIR's request, orders international competitive bidding and submission of a formal concession plan. Procurement lawyers say the sequence suggests a contract was treated as complete before regulatory review concluded, a breach of the PPCA's competitive and transparent procurement requirements. Well, interesting. Very, very interesting story. We will see how that goes. We will see how that goes and we'll see where this deal ends up. But it is an interesting, detailed story that brings in a whole lot of things. It is important for the president, those whoever is, I was saying to someone days ago that I really do think, I may be wrong, but if President Boyka were younger, like in his 50s, early 60s, I think he would have done bigger, better things. Because you can see in some instances what he does, the kinds of actions, the kinds of decisions that are made. But again, with age and everything else, I don't know, some of these things, the way they just happen around him like that. Yeah. For example, he sets up the office of the ombudsman, right? So the ombudsman makes recommendations. Are we sure that the president will get that memo from the ombudsman? I don't know. Will they allow him to listen to radio stations that OKFN that will talk about it or other stations? I don't know. Will they allow him to read newspapers that will publish those kinds of things? I don't know. But that's the way people insulate presidents can be. Sometimes it's that way. So let's see how this comes out. There is something that is happening. We'll go to the final thing to take your calls, and then we'll go to the report. There is something that is happening that I think is ugly. It's I don't know. Yes, state machinery has to move on. We have a friend of the president, a longtime friend, the Minister of State, who passed away. And in no time, without us even knowing the date for his burial or what the details are, we already see clamoring from partisans and supporters of the ruling party, already clamoring for who to replace him, putting names out there and all those kinds of things. Like, hey man, we've not the day for this man's burial is not even decided. With people throwing allegations there and there that someone may have allegedly killed the man, poisoned the man, blah blah blah. Then in no time you just jump as if people so hungry for that position or that job. Hey man, let's have human heart too. You can be telling people that they are politicizing the man's death and blah blah blah, and you yourself you just jumping over the place. Oh, we think this person will be a good minister. Oh, we think this person will be. Oh, so you people were happy you wanted the man. You really wanted the man to not be in the job? Sometimes take it easy small, man. I do not think President Baka has a problem with his office now in terms of because the Minister of State is dead, so someone is not playing that role. There are people there. And I do not think he will even name somebody before this man's burial. I don't think he will do it. This is his friend. This is not just about someone he just started knowing. Childhood friends, CWA, imagine where they came from. Why your ego and greed for power is so much. And some of these things are fueled by people who have interests in the job. They don't care. No human heart, no human feeling. That's job, money, power, influence. Hey, man. This man is an older man. This is his friend. I know it grieves him, but he is president. He may not say that among some of you people and be showing it like, he feeling terrible. But, I mean, you know what that means. That close. So as much as in the first round, the man did not support him, he was supporting someone else, but that was his friend. He still brought him on board as his minister of state. There is too much trust in that kind of thing. This is a man who the president of being in office, perhaps if he's resting or he needs someone to lecture with him and say, they be talking about, lecture, they may be lecturing, but there are different things they used to do. I see there be at the time with boys coming up and all those kinds of stuff. And then the person dies. And you already want to start jumping all over here for job business. No, man. Stop that. Okay. So we were here, and then the CDC party headquarter thing. It has been a long-running, convoluted story, and you already know where I stand on these kinds of matters on political parties. I think a whole lot of these parties don't do well for themselves. They've not demonstrated. They've not demonstrated a serious responsibility in showing that they are very determined to be the political institutions that they should be. They are still, there's one person kind of driven thing. Because to be honest with you, there's no reason why these two parties, UP and CDC, should still be renting. For the length of time they've been active in the country. But let's focus on CDC today. Right? So there's an eviction order from the court now that authorizes. I did not see a date though, but for them to be, for the people to take their property. Again, quietly leave, go somewhere else. Is it shameful? Yes, it is. You were in opposition for 12 years. You were in power for 6 years, 18 years, and people are still chasing you here and there for a home. Imagine you as a father. You have the ability or you have the capacity to build a home for you and your family. You do not do that. You stay renting, spending all the money on renting that could have got you land and build house. You didn't do it. Yeah? And maybe the job you were doing now too, they took the job from you. They dismissed you from the job. Just how like Brainport dismissed CDC. Yeah, I dismissed her there. CDC, yeah, you work for 6 years, tired. I'm going to say that. They dismiss you. Now you are dismissed. Then the people come back again, the horse again, the noise come on the horse business. The landlord said, my horse are taking it from you. Move, go. Yeah, you just gotta go now. You got an option. I saw former Speaker Kofa writing this. He wrote this. Let me see. Yeah, it's a notice, leave. Okay, but we want to bring you exactly what he wrote. CDC is not a building, it is in the hearts and minds of the masses. Good luck with your building. Oh yeah, when that's how people speak when nowhere to way. Nowhere to way. So you just gotta talk something. Like, I cannot force it to, it is shameful, but you are forced, so you gotta choose one and force. Yeah, tell your horse, why can I go horse say? Rat but I play you bend. Yeah, ratting horse, you even get good come inside and blah blah. Tell your horse are going. They kind of force making yeah, but the people horse that they are laying. You go. You see, these things are okay to happen to show leaders responsibility. And I believe a whole lot of you have not demonstrated responsibility in your political parties. You can be innovative. I spoke about that thing here before. Be innovative. Move political parties to another level. There are things you can do with innovation. It's not just about joy, we are coming back to power or you come back to power. It is also the fact that out of power, are you still sustainable? Are you still self-sufficient? Are you not going to be dependent on a few people? What do you think about getting involved in plantation agriculture? What do you think about transportation system? What do you think about a political party building estate? People say, oh no, we're only supposed to. Yes, I know political parties want to lead and all those kinds of things. But in this day and age, with everything else that we see, innovation can make you do a lot. We started admiring Amin Modad as the party's chairman. He was bringing innovation, and then later on he was removed and they put someone else there. We also heard from Chairman Janga Kowo, who, because of time, we can't play what he said. He talked about how the allegations made by Senator Joseph are not true and blah blah blah, and he shouldn't have done that. He also went further to say his departure is actually a blow. No one should say it is not a blow to the party. It is a blow, but others have left. CDC won election and blah blah blah. But he hopes that the senator will come back. And I saw some CDC people there. He said the man too soft. He's not acting tough. He's not a Karas kind of people talking tough. Some people say he should resign or they should remove him as chairman. Let me tell you people something. The kind of leadership, the kind of behavior, the kind of things that make you to lose cannot be the things that make you to win. You gotta change. If you have firebrand people, you need a person like Janga Ko to be chairman. With all the firebrand people have in cities, the Jefferson coaches, the the Akaros Greys. Those are firebrand people. You can't make any of those people party chairman. How do you attract others? How do you solve problems with very rough talkers? You'll not be able. What that man did, wherever he spoke, was a sign of leadership. You know the man is important. You like it. You know the departure of the man is a blow. That is the truth. Is he trying to coax the guy to? Is it still possible for conversations to happen? Yeah. And that is the line the man is towing. But you be talking rough. There are issues. You have problems in your party and you're aware. You know that. You cannot demonstrate those same kind of behaviors to come back to power. No. Yeah, we always talk about Trump. Trump came back to power. But watch the evolution of Trump when he left power. That lady who is his chief of staff. I've read documentaries. I've read articles on her. Trump lost a whole lot of people after he left power. His own VP, a whole lot of other people. This lady remote cheat, as difficult as it is to manage Trump. Wherever she came from, she got in his inner circle. She tried to manage him. What he wrote, what he said, his behavior. She tried, as difficult as it was. Made him to go. She was in the background. She was not a hot tap to be talking here and there, to defend him here and there. She was managing who came around him. What did he do? What he was doing in that time? Where was he going? The kinds of interviews. Where some places that people would not expect that he would go for interviews. He was going on those kinds of platforms. He was going to black churches, small black churches, and all those kinds of things. He was going to people he would not normally go to. There was better management around him when he lost power. Can you say that same thing about the former president? No. He is still doing things that a whole lot of people do not like. The voters. It is very true that the people do not like former president. We are dancing and singing everywhere and as if he's not serious about being president. A whole lot of people do not like it. A few people may hail that, but a whole lot of people, even a whole lot of you in your party, CDC, know that you do not like it. You need people to better manage. I do not think the likes of Eugene Nangbe can do that because they are too friendly. They've been friends for a long time. What can they say? He has to avail himself to being properly and better managed. Yeah, like the way he meets former presidents, goes to different things and different occasions and all of that. Good. He gets, oh, but the man used to it is his idiosyncrasy and all that stuff. No, there have to be changes. Since this man lost power, we've not no counter tour every year. Oh, you go for counter tour. He hasn't really said anything significant. He hasn't gone anywhere very, significant within the country, hold discussions with people and all those kinds of stuff across the country and all of that. To even say thank you. Who is managing him? It cannot be the Calascos. They will not be able to tell him what should be said to him. You need someone who is frank, who is persuasive, who is controlling to manage what he does. And manage yourselves very well as an opposition party that wants to come back to power. Yeah? But as it stands, you have issues. And you have to make up with yourselves with those issues. Yeah. There has to be some changes. So I hope it is a learning curve. You political parties have your own places, do something better, bring in more innovation, do other things. Like Brempo said, now the citizens that we used to know here, but you people really do them one different now. But so you leave power, then people look at you for long and say, man, you ain't get money against that, blah, blah, blah. We'll leave our play, man. Maybe someone else who is an investor pushing the people, they want to buy the place and all those kinds of things happen. let's take some calls for the next 7 minutes, and then we'll go on to the State Department report on any of the issues that we have spoken about. You can either say 777-700-995, 555-995-995. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Good afternoon.
Go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Julius, for having me on your platform. I'm CRC, Madam Superchair of the Intelligent Party, December 14, and I want to say good afternoon to Librarian following your show. Julius, this afternoon, my attention is drawn to your conversation surrounding, these guys that are leaving the CDC. And Julius, I want to be on your protocol. The name of those folks that are leaving the CDC now, it is necessary that they leave the party because some of them have been a barrier to party. And we cannot really keep them, the CDC cannot keep them. All of my life, my first vote was in 2011 for Senator Joseph when he was nobody, right across District 13, what I live opposite. And so he has his officials has the right to leave it. It will just give like some of our who level are saying and derogatory thing about the party, prefer to be and telling all that will know the real bad people in the CDC. It will be preferable. But for you to leave the party, then you tend to make the party to be a dead, like how you the party is going to go down the drain. No, Julius. We want to categorically disagree with our Joseph that is actually nothing to the party. Without that, the party can exist.
Okay, thanks so kindly. This person says, I can confirm that the issue is sending money through line items in the entity's budget. I had that experience in my little entity, even though I wasn't the head. That brought serious concern among us. Okay, that one what time was it? They can send some of the money. This person says, I agree with you that we are needs to be managed. I think he's a CDC supporter. He or she is a CDC supporter. I don't know who that is, but that's what the person says. Let's see who's on this end. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yes, how you doing?
I'm fine. Go ahead.
Dear here.
Mm-hmm.
I think you spoke my mind on the Jangako's situation, Emeko. Shamako is a different kind of a leader. His style of politicking is that diplomatic style. And leaders of such, they need a robust, resilient, a vigorous Secretary General to back them up.
Yeah, well, that kind of thing is when the honorable spoil or they make it bad, it is that kind of person that can fix it.
That man will come and just fix it. That's the kind of Jangako is a very sound individual, and I think people are getting it wrong. The way they're turning about he leaving the party or whatever. He needs a resilient somebody, a deputy, and that vote is there right now because the Secretary General is out of the country, and there is nobody. I think what they needed to do, what CDC needs to do, I just make a recommendation to the Hama friends of that part of the party do. So they need somebody, an assistant Secretary General or deputy Secretary General, fill the role of Koji that will be robust. And then the issue of the PPCC.
Mm-hmm.
Julius, I know our president was misled because look at it this way: it would be naive for the president to establish a committee knowing fully well PPC rejected that restricted bidding. On the 10th, PPCC made a for restricted bidding.
Yeah, NIR.
Yeah, NIR made a request without even getting authorization or green light from the PPCC to either go ahead or not. They went and convinced the president. On the 5th, the president came up with a committee appointing rules in order to that committee on NIR for our ID card processes. Then on the 7th, you got PPCC rejecting that restricted bidding award. So you see the embarrassment they have caused for the presidency? And the president still keeps the people around him.
And because these things can have international implications, you see how Woods is distancing himself from it. Because
bring nothing to me. I don't know about it. In fact, I'll take it to the letter. And Julius, and the president is still seated. He's not doing anything about it. That the same way they misled him with the yellow machine syndrome. They wanted to steal all 63 million for the next. The president still keeping there around him. What is happening?
No, the president got to leave the grandparent situation and decisively deal with these people.
Thanks so kindly. Leave that situation and decisively deal with the people. Let's take this one. Jeff Chesson, welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Julius, thank you for taking me in, and a pleasant good afternoon to all the Liberian people. Julius, I just will speak on a few things quickly, and I hope you give me the time. One, the $44 million deal with NRA. I think, firstly, the president should have even gotten involved with the procurement process. PPCC was clear there's no objection to single source or to do restricted bidding for $44 million plus procurement. The law is clear on that, so there's no ambiguity in our law. There's no need for the setting up a committee to intervene. No. If you contravene the procurement laws, the law should take its course. There's a similar thing that happened with the finance ministry when they got the forged document from the U.S. Embassy. The deputy minister accepted that, and based on that, awarded the contract to a company. That also was fraudulent. I mean, forget about the forging of the document, but it was fraudulent to even award contract based on just mere recommendation from the American Embassy. Even the Federal Acquisition Regulation does not tell you that any individual can recommend a company, and based on that recommendation, you award contract. The intent of the whole process was flawed. The intent was corruption. They wanted kickbacks and all. And be careful. Our national identity data is very important to businesses, to entities. So we need to be careful how we all source our national registry to companies. These are things we need to take into consideration. So the intent was strictly for corruption, nothing else. And remember, the United Party chairman were also sanctioned before for changing the PPCC laws. So this is not strictly to the United Party. They understand how to tweak the PPCC law for their own self-benefit and corruption. So let's call spade a spade. The intent was corruption, and the president was informed. He only trying to save his face now. Kofi is not trying to save his face because it's backfiring, and he knows the implications. This is the same reason why the former chairman of the United Party was sanctioned, and Kofi is also walking down that road. They're using the proximity to the president with the acquiescence of the president to corrupt the system.
Allegedly.
We need to be clear and call spade a spade.
No, that's why you, the politicians, will do. We, the media people, will put our allegedly there.
And you talked about the management of the former president. And Julius, I can tell you, why it is true no human being is perfect. But I think that Eugene Nagbo is doing a very good job, and the president.
So how we still see all these videos of Intensi singing here and there popping up, and you know a whole lot of people don't like that.
Man, Julius, listen, some of those videos you should know. Some of them are just being propaganda.
No, but I'm propaganda. The main second enjoy it. Then I can tell Kalasco take a picture. Kalasco do the video, post it. But you say he second do it. They say what?
That's not true.
My man Jeff, see you. I beg you, let the other people. Okay, we'll end it here for now. We'll go to the next big one now. Oh, sorry, I didn't send the stuff to my boy. But anyways, we just view it from here. I didn't send it to him to post. Yeah, sorry, we got to go to the next issue. It's a long one. So the Human Rights Report, as you all know, every year when these reports come up, I always read them. There are people who can be concerned about these reports. No, I'm not taking calls now. We move on to the next thing. So, but I thought my Senator Johnson, I was going to carry for debate. He said he couldn't make it because of other issues. But seeing today, he's granting interview. So, I don't know. Anyways, that's okay. Maybe we'll try to reschedule. But let me read something that someone sent me. They say was written by a former president. We are to, he says, editions focus and don't allow misinterpretation of words to make you angry. We have more danger to deal with than correcting speeches. Let us all agree together to show to the Liberian people that the CDC belongs to them. No matter what, we'll continue to fight together to the end. We are mighty, loyal, and faithful to our people's struggle. By the grace of God, there will be no one will ever break up this people's powerful party. We are here to stay. Strong will always be because nothing will separate us. It's a national struggle, and we must continue to fight no matter what. Power to the people. Now we are focused on solving the HQ issue. We have to build our own home. We will and we must. We will never be defeated. Remember, the CDC make leaders. Leaders never make CDC, make the CDC. Amandla, away to blah, blah, blah. So that is why he said, yeah, build your own HQ, get your own land, and that is that. So good. Let's go to the U.S. State Department report. So as I was saying, we always read them. And you could, interestingly, during the years of the CDC, since 2020 when I returned to radio, every year I used to read the whole State Department report on the show, right? You all can remember, right? I can remember when, as soon as those reports came up, then the people who were, I will not call some of my friends' names. They will either mention my name there or they will send me the report. Quick. I can already have it, but they will be sending it to me. State Department report out. Since the other State Department report came up, none of the men I mentioned my name there. You man politicians, I beg you. I mean, I know how to deal with it. None of them can mention my name. None of them can send me the State Department report because they want you now. It's about them. They are in power now. Now the other people who just used to add, they're not seeing the report. The former ruling party now. All of them running with a report. Everywhere you turn so report. You turn so State Department report. Their own party HQ, but I didn't want to talk about it again. The people there you can be mine. Okay, I said, Look, I was just saying that today, I was just laughing. As soon as I posted a report, it's a damaging report. But go back 3 years ago, 2 years ago. You not see one CDC person saying it is a damaging report. Oh, yeah, look at it and pass. Let them see it. So now that United Party people trying to pass. And I didn't see the report. Here's the other country looking. Yeah. So it is titled 2024 Country Reports on Human Rights Practices, Liberia. Executive summary. There were no significant changes in the human rights situation in Liberia during the year. So the way the previous years are looking, they say nothing really changed. It's problematic and blah, blah, blah. But let's go on. Significant human rights issues included credible reports of arbitrary or unlawful killings, torture or cruel, inhuman and degrading treatment or punishment, arbitrary arrest and detention, serious restrictions on freedom of expression and media freedom, including violence or threats of violence against journalists and censorship, trafficking in persons, and systematic restrictions on workers' freedom of association. The government took steps to identify and punish officials who committed human rights abuses, including abuses committed during the country's civil war. So we'll go into it. Life. Extrajudicial killings. There were numerous reports the government or its agents committed arbitrary or unlawful killings during the year. So they said during the year 2024, there were numerous reports, a whole lot of reports coming out that either the government or some of the agents, when they say agents of government, maybe police, DA, or blah, 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 people working with government, they arbitrarily, that is, without a law granting any authority, kill people. That true or that false? And we get plenty of reports of that. We all know. In May, the Bureau of Rehabilitation and Corrections formally charged 6 officers linked to the death in April of an inmate at the Fishtown Central Prison. So when they say here the government took steps to identify and punish officials, it is one of these instances they are talking about where the Bureau of Rehabilitation and Corrections formally charged 6 officers linked to the death in April of an inmate at the Fishtown Central Prison. The inmate death led to community unrest as angry residents vandalized the prison, leading to the escape of some inmates. According to the Prison Bureau, several correctional officers aided the jailbreak and were under investigation by the Liberia National Police. 4 of the 6 officers involved were cleared of any wrongdoing. 1 was dismissed for failure to cooperate with the investigation, and 1 remained under investigation. B. Coercion in population control. There were no reports of coerced abortion or involuntary sterilization on the part of government authorities. A February 2023 report by the Ministry of Health in partnership with local and international non-governmental organizations revealed induced abortions had taken place in previous years. C. War crimes, crimes against humanity, and evidence of acts that may constitute genocide or conflict-related abuses. On June 25, the French Court of Cassation, that is France's Supreme Court for civil and criminal cases, affirmed a marriage court ruling that found Conti Camara of the former warring faction United Liberia Movement for Liberia for Democracy guilty of complicity in crimes against humanity and in the commission of simple and aggravated acts of torture and barbarism. The court sentenced Camara to 30 years imprisonment, marking the first conviction of a former fighter for crimes against humanity linked to the country's 1989 to 1997 Civil War. Section 2, Liberty A, freedom of the press. The Constitution provided for freedom of expression, including for members of the press and other media, and the government generally respected these rights, although with some unofficial limits. Individuals were generally free to criticize the government publicly or privately, but government officials sometimes used dismissal or threat of dismissal from employment to place limits on freedom of expression for public servants. In August, the Monrovia City Corporation dismissed 9 city employees following allegations they used social media to criticize government officials and the president. We talk about that case here. It was a violation even of the CSA Act and all those kinds of things, but those people were dismissed, so this is not a surprise. Josiah Jokai and his man from PPCC felt that when they were in opposition and working in government, civil servants used to critique the government. Then they said, no, you can come and try that thing here. So they dismissed a whole lot of people in the civil service working in government cannot really say their actual minds now because of that intimidation. Physical attacks, imprisonment, and pressure. Press associations reported government officials occasionally harassed newspaper and radio station owners. I'm taking a little break. I laugh at this one because I just leave it. But press associations reported government officials occasionally harassed newspaper and radio station owners, as well as individual journalists, because of their political opinions and reporting. On June 26, the Association of Liberia Community Radios demanded the reinstatement of Radio Kakata station manager Jerry Kwe, who was suspended by Margibi County Superintendent Victoria Duncan for alleged financial malfeasance. The association warned against political interference in the operations of community radios across the country, asserting such actions amounted to media censorship. They will come to censorship by governments, military, intelligence, or police forces, criminal groups, or armed extremists or rebel groups. Although generally able to express a wide variety of views, some journalists practice self-censorship to avoid harassment. You know what self-censorship is? Let me not talk here before they can write or say stuff about me or do this. So you see some media people who avoid being critical on the government because they don't want anybody to do. Some media outlets avoided criticizing government officials due to fear of legal sanctions and potential loss of government advertising, a large source of media revenue. Oh yeah, the lie? It's not a lie. It's an every year thing, all these governments. So sometimes people avoid criticizing government officials. When you do it, they'll not do business with you. And that's how it would be. A June 20 meeting between Presidential Press Secretary Kula Fofana and media executives turned contentious, leading several editors to walk out. The incident arose concerning new accreditation requirements for journalists covering the executive mansion, including police clearances and institutional task clearance certificates. These policies, along with demands by the government for free website advertising, which impacted newspaper revenue, sparked concerns regarding media freedom and independence. Well, you don't want your name going in this like this, and Kula's name has come into it. Terrible. Very, very bad. Yeah, as you see, it is almost as I knew that the report was coming. You heard some of the things I was talking about yesterday. These are the kinds of things. So government officials and people, when they jump, they can go somewhere and gather and talk for 3 hours on him to talk anything they want to talk. And they feel either you're critical, people will not do business with you, and that is that. It will strangulate the media. Media entities could break down and all of that, yeah. But as your citizens, they will be out of jobs. And we all know what the repercussions can be. Workers' rights, freedom of association and collective bargaining. The law provided workers, except public servants and employees of state-owned enterprises, the right to freely form or join independent unions, bargain collectively, and conduct legal strikes or engage in go slow, a protest by workers in which they deliberately worked slowly. The law prohibits anti-union discrimination, blah, 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 blah. There was no minimum number of workers required, and the foreign were prohibited to a law approval process, blah, blah, blah. A long-standing dispute that officially prevented members of the Civil Service Association of Liberia from joining the Liberia Labor Congress, technically banning them from unionizing, remained in force. This was reaffirmed by a 2023 court ruling resulting from a Ministry of Labor petition. Civil servants and the government remain far apart on this issue despite the court ruling, with some civil society organizations arguing the government should take steps to amend the law for wider public sector participation within the Liberia Labor Congress. The government's Labor Practices Review Board had the right to supervise trade union elections, which the International Confederation of Trade Unions termed an interference in the union's right to organize its administration. Trade and labor unions were registered with and licensed by the Ministry of Labor, which represented the government in the labor and employment sector. The ministry's Bureau of Trade Union Affairs and Social Dialogue coordinated activities of trade unions and employer organizations in the labor sector. As a result, labor union members frequently accused the government of meddling in trade union affairs and creating tension and distrust among workers. In May, the president mandated the Ministry of Labor to work with the divided parties of the Liberia Labor Congress to resolve a dispute concerning leadership. Historically, conflict within the Congress often arose regarding abuses such as government interference in trade union activities, disputes concerning leadership and representation, concerns regarding unequal distribution of benefits among different worker groups, and divisions among factions favoring closer government ties versus independent unionism. Public sector employees and employees of state-owned enterprises were prohibited under law from unionizing and bargaining collectively, but they could join associations and process grievances through the Civil Service Agency Grievance Board. Okay. Forced or compulsory labor, acceptable work conditions, wage and hour laws. The law established minimum wages for unskilled laborers and for formal sector workers. The law also allowed workers in the informal sector to bargain for a wage higher than the legal minimum. The law provided for working hours not to exceed 8 hours per day or 48 hours a week. The law provided for a maximum of 5 hours of overtime in any week at a rate of 150% of the normal rate. Alleged wage, hour, and overtime violations were common in the informal sector. Then on the issue of occupational safety and health standards were up to date for the intended industries. For certain categories of industries, the law required employers to employ safety and health officers and establish a safety and health committee in the workplace. Workers could not remove themselves from situations that endangered health or safety without jeopardizing their employment. Authorities did not effectively protect employees in this situation. The government did not proactively identify unsafe work conditions. The government did did respond to workers' OSH standards complaints. The government did not keep records of industrial accidents, but evidence pointed to mining, construction, forestry, fishing, and agriculture as the most dangerous sectors. Okay. Disappearance and adoption disappearance. There were no reports of enforced disappearances by or on behalf of the government authorities. Prolonged detention without charges. The Constitution and law prohibited arbitrary arrest and detention and provided for the right of any person to challenge the lawfulness of their arrest or detention in court. The government did not always observe these prohibitions and rights. In general, the law required police to have warrants issued by a magistrate to make arrests. The law allowed for arrest without a warrant if the necessary paperwork was filed immediately after for review by the appropriate authority, but arrests often were made without judicial authorization, and warrants were sometimes issued without sufficient evidence. The law required authorities to arraign or release detainees within 48 hours. Detainees generally were informed of the charges against them upon arrest, but were always brought before a judge for arraignment within 48 hours. The law also provided that once arraigned, a criminal defendant had to be indicted no later than the next succeeding term of court after arrest. If the indicted defendant was not tried within the next succeeding court term and no cause was given, the law prescribed the case against the defendant be dismissed. Nevertheless, cases were rarely dismissed on other ground, making this one of the most frequent abuses of the law. Approximately 60% of pretrial detainees, especially those held for felony offenses, were detained for more than 2 terms of court or approximately 180 days without a hearing. According to the National Commission on Human Rights of Liberia, a detainee's access to a hearing before a judge sometimes depended on whether there was a functioning court or available transportation in the area. The INCHRL further stated some courts occasionally lacked both a prosecutor and a public defender, and the magistrate judge proceeded without them. Additionally, some magistrates solicited money from complainants to transport the accused or convicted to and from detention. Detainees had the right to prompt access to counsel, and if indigent, an attorney was provided by the state in criminal cases. The National Public Defender Office was short-staffed and faced logistical constraints that hindered access to rural courts. 2 domestic NGOs also provided legal assistance to some indigent defendants. The bail system was inefficient and susceptible to corruption. The INCHRL and other civil rights observers reported judges misused the bail system, viewing it as punitive rather than a way to regulate appearance in court. Some judges reportedly used the possibility of bail to solicit bribes. Although official policy allowed detained suspects to communicate with others, including a lawyer or family member, inadequate telephone services resulted in many inmates being unable to communicate with anyone outside of the detention facility. In November, a Monrovia criminal court judge chastised Ministry of Justice prosecutors for the handling of a case involving an alleged Guinean mercenary who was apprehended in Liberia for allegedly planning a coup plot against the Guinean president and military leader inside Liberian territory. The suspect, Ibrahim Khalil Sharif, was taken into custody by National Security Agency officials and, according to his defense lawyers, and the INCHRL, was held without charges for several days before transferred to Monrovia Central Prison. According to the INCHRL, Sharif was later removed from prison by authorities without a court order. The government's information minister subsequently acknowledged Sharif had been turned over to Guinean authorities at their request and on the grounds that Sharif presented a national security threat to both Liberia and Guinea. The judge criticized the government's handling of the case and threatened contempt charges against the Justice Ministry. The case was closed as prosecutors dropped the charges and the defendant was no longer in the country. Lengthy pretrial detention was a problem. The use of detention as a punitive measure, failure to issue indictments in a timely manner, lack of a functioning bail system, poor court record keeping, failure of judges to assign court dates, ineffective assistance of defense counsel, and the lack of resources for prosecutors and public defenders all contributed to prolonged and pretrial detention. Okay, so let's take some of your calls now before our guests can come in who are already here. That is the report. Not significantly different from previous years and all of that. But again, this is what it is. This is Liberia. We critique, we come, we do similar. Let's take your calls. 777-700-995-555-995. Let's hear you. Welcome.
Good evening, Julius.
Yes, go ahead.
It's good to be again to be on the last segment of your show. I'm CRC Virginia, and I join you from the office of the Intellectual Class District number 14. I appreciate the U.S. report. If there was going to be any other report that praised the government on human rights, we were going to I was going to categorically speak against the U.S. because we see the rampant human rights violation in the country, the flagrant violation of the rule of law, and we spoke against. I think the station just spoke against. If the station didn't make any statement concerning the Sherry guard that was in custody, then I can speak for this station. But as a person, I know for a fact that the government turned Sherry to the military junta in Guinea, which we thought should never have happened in a democratic society like this. I listened to Cabinet Janet. He was frustrated. This was the government that he supported. In fact, these were people who were with Cabinet Janet. But then when he started to speak out, we tried to look at him on the wrong side. I think this government just everything upside down. I think the government is disappointed to those that voted for it. And they have placed us or put us in a 6-year mess. We wish Mr. Brocker, I think he has experience on the rule of law, and the American government, the U.S., will continue to use a diplomatic relationship to show that Mr. Brocker will abide by the rule of law.
Thanks so kindly. This person says, I'm one of those because I'm being threatened, dismissed several times. I, as a civil servant with the ministry, no longer use my Facebook page to discuss national issues, instead my auxiliary page. Okay? Yeah, we've heard those things a lot. That's happening. Let's go international. Let's see who's here. Welcome, and let's hear you.
Yeah, hello, Julius. My name is Jacob Cousin. I come from North Dakota. But Julius, you can't get a man who are in government for I know how long they're going to get no good advice on the phone. Then you just leave my call. You just left my phone open.
Oh. Sorry.
Yeah, that's why you got Jefferson Jersey on the land middle in government. They could not say anything.
Sorry, nah. I wrong you.
I know you wrong me, but they cannot be taking the land for more than 5
years. Yeah, but leave it now. Try your own. And I give you the chance now, Chi. Try your own now.
Yeah, no, I'm fair with you, man.
Yeah, sorry. I beg you, sorry.
Yeah, but man, thank you for the time and thank you for the work you do for the Liberian people. I just wanted to, because the first topic, I just wanted to say a few things. You see, they can always say the man is the one respected here, the prophet. And many a time we can have our disagreement with you. But honestly, there are times that you can really speak true to power. It may not be, we are all human being, people earth. But the management team of former president, as you said, and you spoke about it, I think it make a lot of sense. You did a lot of research on the current president, chief of office, that the kind of way she helped to manage him. And our institutions in Liberia, we don't even have institutions in Liberia. We always want an individual to be the face of that institution, and he should do everything. This is the same problem that happened to the Unity Party. It brought down to the CDC, and today we see all kind of things. Just now watching the stuff on the phone, I was even afraid. It makes no sense that we continue to go this, we continue to trade it path. Look at the human rights report you just read. How dangerous it is. But you know what happened? Because you read it today, you will get some bad friending. You will get some very, very bad friending today because they never wanted to read it to the public. But we should always do these things to correct our wrong. So, my man, keep doing your best. I appreciate it. Sometimes we have a disagreement. But thank you so much for allowing me.
Thanks so kindly for your call and your patience as well. Sorry earlier. Sometimes the phones are plenty, so you okay this one, you can forget. But it was not deliberate. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Julius?
Yes, go ahead.
Dear again. Julius, the report on Liberia is very damaging. Fortunately for this government, am I there?
Yeah, your uncle.
Fortunately for this government and our president, he has the time to right the wrong.
Well, I think the 2025 Untu will be bad because we know the things that have happened. We have talked about them. So
yeah, because and he has to talk to his people, Kura Fufana, the police, RG, and other people. Too many people are doing things
the brutality. I mean, people used to call their show. They said people were tortured. The government said nobody had ever been tortured. Now the U.S. are telling us that people are tortured. Now, one thing, some of them, if I'm people for the Unity Party, you embrace this report and work on some things. Because I saw someone who wrote that, in fact, the U.S. must mind its business. You got a situation in Gaza and all of places. But hold on, is this not the same U.S. you want them to give you money? So who will give you money and you say they should not talk into your affairs?
And besides, it's the same report you are using against others.
Exactly. So what goes around comes around. Now all we need to do, there is no way you're going to track the whole report situation you're running with CDC headquarters. CDC headquarters it's not as damaging as the US report. And if they have gone quiet today, the entire internet is going very quiet, and the nation is falling this. And this quietness or the quiet experience in Liberia right now is proudly sponsored by the State Department.
Thanks so kindly. The guys can come in. The person keeps sending me this message, and I've tried to get to the person says the House Leadership Speaker Kun and Chairman James Colette are owing staff us 3 months coupon. I don't know how they keep sending the message always when I'm on air. I don't know how true it is. Wow, better saying money finish. So I don't know. So I know what the issue is, but we'll see what will happen. But the person keeps sending the message. I don't know how true that is. Is that true? Working as a resident? Are they owing your coupon 3 months? Welcome. Let's hear you. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Thank you, Big Brother Julius. The name remains Sopana S. Cabinet. I do join a conversation this evening from Cardwell. Big Brother Julius, I can wonder at times if you really love Liberia.
Who,
right? Me? Big, yeah?
Oh, you can say you can wonder if I love Liberia, me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, go ahead.
Big Brother, they can about report them when it come all at times as a person who love Liberia. What you do, you just say that kind of report and then you just put it on the table because it's not something for other international community to listen to. Other international community, when they listen to this, you know what will happen to the country? It damage the country. It stop investment from coming. So that what you want, Big Brother Julius?
So,
wait, Big Brother Julius, you know the relationship between you and
my man, I get time for I get time for that one. But let me ask you now.
Yes.
During CDC time, when I used to read the same report, and you used to be happy?
Big Brother Julius, when our community since yesterday or when I was doing something yesterday out of ignorance. So you are still continue to live. And yesterday what I was doing it out of ignorance.
So now you're not ignorant again. So now you are not ignorant.
No, Big Brother. So I'm just saying. Hello.
Okay. So when the reports come, I should put it under the table now. I shouldn't throw away.
Yeah, it's not something to be read because these are things that can stop investment from coming.
Okay. Thanks so kindly. Welcome. Let's hear you. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Second to last caller. Hello.
Hello, Julius.
Yes, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, my name is Baba V. Kamara and I phone in from Connellsville.
Go ahead.
I am an unapologetic member of the Unity Party, Julius.
Mm-hmm.
But I thank you for the job you do for Liberia. The essence of governance is to provide basic social services for the public. And as long as you are in the seat to do that, it is not possible to govern without criticism. And criticism for me, I see as a guiding element to governance. So for me, I'm not against that. And on the issue of the report, there is no way on planet Earth a government will perform without having errors.
Mm-hmm.
So the report you are reading there, what is good about it, even though yes, there are some things about the report or in the report, but what is good there for me, I see, is that there is a difference between that report and the reports that came within the last 6 years. And you know that is the truth, Julius. So it means even though we have problems, the government has problems, but we are gradually changing those narratives.
Okay. Gradually changing those narratives because of time. Suspended Gua says, Julius, this guy is the funniest caller I have heard today. Reporter is all over the internet. He's saying you should not read. Let me read this message from one of those who was dismissed at the MCC. That's where we end up and we come to our guest. He says, reading the human rights report on Liberia moved me to tears. I have been demonized and rejected by family members, friends, and even close associates. Yet today, history has revealed the truth of where I stand. I earnestly plead with the U.S. government to go beyond observation and take decisive action to protect Liberia from future disgrace. The time to act is now for the sake of our nation's dignity and its people's future. Hope is alive. Boy Kokwe, he was one of those dismissed. He was one of those dismissed from MCC that was spoken about in the report. I don't know who this is, but let's see. It looks like an official, but let's see. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yes. Other listeners to you, listening to you right now, but only relevant for them to watch them. So that now that cabinet know that when they read, they kind of report against check.
But what's your name for now? You call Jeremy first?
I'm Chiriba. I'm calling for public island.
Okay. Oh yeah, the message he can stop. Okay. So someone is saying the House owes the central administration 3 months gasoline, and this month makes it 4. Okay. Whatever the case is, we have with us Amos W. Togba. He's the Secretary General of the Liberia Dodging and Catching Federation. Dodging and Catching. They'll tell us what that is. And Edwin S. Brown. They both are here to talk about some of what they are involved with and what they need from you, the public. So let's come across. Who is Amos?
Okay, Julius, first thing I want to say thank you.
Please elevate the microphone like that. Okay, you speak a little louder.
I want to say thank you so kindly for affording us the opportunity to be here. And I want to say thank you to the entire management of OKFM and the listener out there. I want to say thank you so much.
Edwin, welcome as well.
Thank you all so much for the time. Once again, I'm Edwin S. Brown from Liberia Dodging and Catching Federation.
Okay. Thanks so kindly. A very high-profile person says, thanks for always reading the report, and it's better for some of us in the security sector to make the necessary changes for the good of our country. Thanks, Julius. And always, please read the report. It's a high-level person. Good. Okay, so... Kavina, you on your own. Dodging and catching. What are you dodging and catching? What is Dodging and Catching Federation? Amos, tell us.
Okay, basically I will lay some premise or permissive, then the coach Edwin will follow.
You have to speak a little louder.
Okay, so dodging and catching. It is a sport called dodgeball from the 2011 from the West, to be specific, England. Yes. So it's, should I say, symbolic to leopard that we should play here. You know. So it is a sport in 120 plus country that is making a headway, and Liberia is no exception of that sport.
So how is it like, Coach? I see you holding the ball that you can show. Is that the dodgeball?
Right.
Yes.
So
it's a dodgeball.
And so how they can do it?
So okay, dodgeball is a team sport where two opposing teams try to eliminate each other by throwing a ball and hitting their opponents. So for instance, critical example, we got Julius dodgeball team A and then Edwin dodgeball team B. So the standard for dodgeball game is 6 players per team. So and then the dodging and catching, the catching has 2 points, and then the hitting has 1 point. The dodging only there to boost the momentum of the sport during the game. So before the gameplay, Julius dodgeball team A, 6 player on the other side, Edwin dodgeball team B, 6 player on the other side. So before the play start, got 6 ball on the court. 6 ball on the court. Okay, let me give a clear analysis about the court. The court is 60 feet long and then 30 feet wide, 20 feet per half, 10 feet adjacent the center line. So before the play start, Julius dodgeball team A will be at the right side, Edwin dodgeball team B will be at the left side. And then the ref will sound the whistle. So Julius is the head for the team. He is the captain. He will select 2 running men. And then Edwin is the head for team B. He will select 2 running men. So the 2 running men will be fast going for the ball to pick the ball. And when you pick your ball, you attack your first 2 opponent's player to obtain your first 2 points.
Okay.
Yes.
So is it being played in Liberia here?
Yes, I haven't yet, but we trying to introduce it in Liberia.
Okay, to your questions, yes, Dutch in the Kitchen is in Liberia right now as we speak. We have been certificated by the Youth and Sport and others government institutions are responsible to handle us document. We obtain our documents.
You have to speak a little louder.
And okay, we've been practicing for a year plus now, and we were part of this.
Do you have a team?
Yes.
A team of what, males or females?
Yeah, mix or both. Yes.
Or you can have both genders playing on the same team?
Right. Okay. So this gone June 30th, a delegate that I was the head, I went to Africa's Abidjan to partake in the kickoff. And then we did that, and we fell in the zone of Liberia, Egypt, and we won Senegal. Selected for this month, the 23rd to the 30th in Abidjan, Africa. So the team has to go and partake in this league.
Oh, okay. So there is a league.
Yeah.
How many players do you have on the team? Total.
Because so let me respond to that. Currently we have 17 players, and then we treating them as a national team.
Okay.
Yes.
17 players plus the coaches and all the staff. Everybody who's supposed to travel with them. The whole traveling team is what?
20.
So we will drop some players. Yes. Now everyone will be selected to go for the trip.
So what is the issue now?
The issue now. The sticky issue now is financial issue because we need, as we said, 20 men delegates. So we need we have a budget of 7,500 United dollars that include our lodging, the hotel, the transportation, and the feeding for these 20 persons that will be in Africos. However, we try getting around some well-meaning Liberian politicians and officials to see how best we can raise this fund, but it seems very difficult and challenging.
When you say difficult and challenging, what is it like?
Okay, we sent a letter to the office of the Speaker Cone, asking for acquaintance to meet with him to tell him more about the sport before making our final request. But up to now, we are still waiting, and the same as LPRC Honorable Amos Tour. We did that, and the name goes on and on. We have not gotten any response from any one of them. And then you talk about NASCAR. We wrote NASCAR. We wrote Liberia Lottery, and asking for support to take the Liberia team to Africa's next week.
Well, so far so good. What does it look like? Does it look bleak? or what? Are you getting the support that you need, or what?
No, we are not getting the support that we need. Even this is why we was a bit surprised when Orchid FM just opened their doors to us to come here, because we went places and people look at us like, oh no, asking why we trying to raise fund, and then the people asking for money. So it was that kind of, so it just blank, and there is no sound of sponsorship, and we have to attend, but we are still hopeful for the remaining few days, and we know that we are on OKFM, so there are someone out there listening to us. We're many Liberians, somebody out there listening to us.
So how can people get in touch with you?
Yes, so we have our mobile money account. We have our number here. Our office is situated in the borough of Nikuta. So our number is, you can call on 0776 44 7892. This is my personal number, Amos Toba. For the institution number is 0879 23006. So this emergency. So if any support, this will come straight to the institution.
You can call that again.
08879 23006. It's in Labrador Dutch in the Kitchen Federation name.
Now, in terms of developing the sport in Liberia, how far and why have you taken it?
Yes, on that note, we have a 3 years strategic plan where we intend to have a community high school tournament first, and a district tournament as well. So we earmark district 17 and 15, 14, and then we roll down to 11 and so on. So we have a plan to expand in 3 years' time in at least six of the counties. Yeah, so that's why we are working about, as we said, expanding the sport will require funding as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but do you have children? A whole lot of people playing it, getting involved. Let me see how the ball looks. Yeah, but give me one.
Right. We played our.
So how we can do it? Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, like
send it. Casual, let me see. Send it back to me. Okay, so I'm trying to understand how it really works.
Okay, let me explain again.
Yeah.
Dodgeball, like I said, it is a two opposing team trying to eliminate each opponent's player. So, for instance, you have a team, Julius dodgeball team A, and then Edwin dodgeball team B. So, like I said, 6 players per team. 6 players per team. So, after you select your 6 players, Julius, Edwin select his 6 players. We got 6 balls on the court.
Okay.
Yes. The 6 balls on the court, you select 2 running players to go and pick the 3 ball. Then Edwin will select 2 running players to go pick another 3 ball. Okay. So the ball is the ball facing right and left.
Okay.
Yes. So when the referee sound the whistle, my first attempt is to go and get the ball, come back outside the 10 feet box to attack. Yeah, to attack my opponent's player to get my first 2 point or 3 point.
So how are you attacking the opponent player now?
By hitting.
Hitting the ball on the person?
Yes. Chunking the ball on your players.
So when the ball touches the player,
then the player is out. I will be at whatever 1 point.
Okay.
And then when your player grab my ball, your player will be at whatever 2 point.
Oh, so that is when I will be attempting to knock you with the ball.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. So if you catch the ball rather than it falling.
No,
Yeah.
if I catch the ball, you ball I catch now,
Yeah.
you'll be out. Then I will be awarded 2 points.
Yeah, but if the ball knock you,
Then I out. You'll be awarded 1 point. The reason catching have 2 points is that you catch a ball and then you all one player. So it's one catch and one kick.
So so it is like I have to dodge the ball.
Yes, the game is very intensive.
If I cannot catch it, I should dodge it.
Dodge it, and the dodging boosts the momentum of the game.
So if I throw the ball at you and you dodge it,
it depends the way you throw the ball.
Wait now.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
saying if I throw the ball,
Yeah.
and you dodge it,
Yes.
what does that mean?
It have no point.
Okay,
As,
then
like
we-
I said,
then
the dodging is
then
just
we-
there to
then
boost the
we-
momentum of the game.
Then what will happen to the falling ball that is not caught or that doesn't touch the other player?
So for instance, if you chunk the ball, Julius, the ball touch the ground, the ball becomes a dead ball.
Okay.
So the difference between dead ball and live ball, if you chunk the ball direct, and then the ball hit every player without touching the ground, that ball is a live ball. Meaning every player will be up, he will go out. Before every player come in, Julius player will catch another ball before my player come in again.
Yeah, I get it, but it still did not answer my question.
Yeah.
I threw the ball at this man.
Right.
It didn't touch him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it fell down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens to that ball?
Yes. So
No,
he-
the ball
he
becomes
said-
dead ball.
So what is their ball? What are the
Dead ball, if you threw a ball and then the ball touch the ground, it becomes dead ball.
So what will happen to it? Y'all will take it from the field?
No, the ball remain on the court. If every player in a position to pick the ball to chunk the player now, then Edwin, if Edwin
So if I threw the ball to and the ball fell without touching someone, I can run for it too?
No. They got a line.
That's why they share the court.
Oh,
the
okay.
court is 60 feet tall in length.
Where do you people practice?
We practice at D12 sport pitch.
Only player can practice.
The ball.
Yes,
no.
the ball of Nikutan, D12 sport pitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So Edwin,
No,
yeah,
I just want people to have an idea.
Right.
Are you visiting schools and all of that to ensure that this game is over? It sounds really interesting. It is something I would like to be a part of. It also looks like good exercise.
You're welcome.
Yes. Some last year in April, we visited some schools. We tried to introduce the sport, but it looked so funny to other students because they said the reason because we weren't having the main dodgeball back then. Yeah, that ball that's a 3. Yeah, that's a ball we used to use. So when we go there to the schools, when we try to present the sport, they will take it a look funny. But once the funny is there, and then we demonstrate the sport.
Yeah, because this is the real ball.
Yeah, this is the real ball.
It is soft. It can help people.
From Canada. This sport was introduced from Canada.
Yeah, I seen dodgeball Canada.
So dodgeball has recognized 107 countries have been recognized by World Dodgeball Executive. 107 countries from the 7 continents. In Africa, we got 29 countries involved in the dodgeball activity. Asia got 22 countries involved in the dodgeball activity. Europe got 29 countries that are involved in the dodgeball activities. And then North America, we got 14 countries. Same as Latin America, 10 countries. So 107 countries in the world have been recognized by World Dodgeball Federation. So the sport is an international sport.
Okay. So let's go back to your next week travel plans.
Yes.
You don't have anything yet?
Yes. So we are trying to find another means, but partnership, or should I term say at leverage, where we have a communication on the way to Honorable Edmond P. Ford at NTA. So because we need transportation, so we call it on the NTA because they can go that far. I'm sure, yes. To take the team, then we will the issue of transportation will be cut down. So we are discussing with the Federation of Africos, ABGM, for lodging as well, and we are discussing that. We are hopeful that we get a good result from that, and then we on hold for the feeding. So we wrote the Minister of Foreign Affairs to come in and help with the laissez-passer for the players. So we are trying to to lobby the best way we can to have this trip to be a success. So it's not only about the cash, though yes we need the cash, and so it's what we are doing, Julius. So we wrote NTA, Minister for Foreign Affairs, for laissez-passer to help us, and NTA to transport the team to Africa. If they do that for us, well, then they cut a huge cost from us. So that's why it is for now.
Okay. Let's go to the lines and see if we can take some calls. 077-700-995, 055-995. Those in authority, anywhere else, they are dealing with young people. What are the age range? What is the age range of the players on the team? Yeah.
Building a national team. So as for now, we have the age 23, 22, 18, 19. Those are players we have now on the team.
Okay. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. President Brabham, how are you doing?
I'm fine. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Chair and Ambassador Ivan Tiapo, political apostle, and I join you from District 16. So we can start around the Kawa Road. First, let me appreciate the general guys in the studio. I think that we are doing extremely well to initiate this kind of sports in our country. Yeah, but what I want to say is that because I listen to the English say that this thing has been recognized by the youth and sport, and then it's honored the youth and sport. So meaning that it is government initiative now. So if it is true that what they are saying, like this government, I think that the government needs to get budget for guys for them to travel to go and exercise while they are up to doing. But I don't think that it's necessary to solicit funds from the public in them, because I don't think so. They need to go back to the youth and sport to see how best to allocate the budget for them to go and do what they're supposed to do. But coming on the radio, asking funds, because what? The public themselves, they need help. Coming to the public too, asking them for help, I think that is a good thing. So for me, I'm in support of the government, but I don't think that this is necessary. Well, I'm going to give it up to them. It's a good initiative. Thanks to them. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks so kindly. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Julia, I'm David Richard from Sokino.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to recommend these guys so they can extend the service and the practice time to all football fields, so like bring it here. So maybe probably all people be interested in taking part.
Okay, thanks so kindly. Someone just sent me some YouTube video of USA men's dodgeball team make epic comeback versus Team Canada, blah, 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 and all that. Let's take more calls. These people need our support. Welcome, let's hear you. Okay. 777-700-995, 555-995, the numbers to call. Let me see. I saw a message here. Okay, let's see who's here. Welcome. Let's hear you. Hello. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead.
I want to know what is time frame in that game. How long?
Yeah, how long it can last. Okay. Okay, thanks so kindly. They will say it. Welcome. Let's hear you.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah. Julius Davis, the vice president of Liberia and Catching Federation.
Who?
Julius Davis, the VP.
Oh, okay. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Just like my colleagues in the studio, we urgently need help because we need to make this trip here. Yeah, the team needs help, needs support from anywhere we can get it to make this trip here because we're going to put Liberia on the map. Right now, as I'm talking, on the field, I see the guys in practicing intensively. So I'm on contribution. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks so kindly as well. Welcome. Let's hear you. What's your name?
Yeah, hello, my name is Flomo Johnson from across from Iron Brazil. So, the Dutch and Cash, I mean, for how long, I mean, what can really be the truce when the winner has won? Is there any truce?
Okay, thanks so kindly as well. Welcome. Let's hear you. I have to go back to them shortly. Welcome.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Big Brother Julius. Let me say thanks to your studio guest. This is the beauty of the rescue regime. You know, Big Brother, whenever a good government is in power, you found so
My man,
many
the people talking about their support to their game. You talking about rescue business? Are you calling to give support?
No, Big Brother, listen, I'm simply trying to say that whenever a good leader is in power, you have so many people coming in and to do so many good things just to empower people. That's what I'm saying. So I must appreciate
they need money to go Abidjan next week.
Yeah, Big Brother Julius, because Mr. We are make the country in our hands. So,
well, we are left out now almost 2 years old. Almost 2 years since your party took over.
Yeah, we still praying for the economy to get better.
Thanks so kindly. Mark Nicholas Tingban says, I love the game and I never knew that it is even in Liberia. How can I be part of the publicity of the game in high schools? We come back to you people to wrap up now. You can respond to the questions. We don't have enough time. Anybody can respond to it.
Okay, we want to say thank you. The first caller.
Not forget to call the numbers so that people can get in contact with you just in case.
Sure. The first caller said he don't think is necessary or it is necessary that we come because we have been. If it is true, we have been certificated. Yes, indeed. But the timing matters. Remember that the Youth and Sport told us that the budget was passed before we were certificated. Based upon that, we cannot get into this year's budget. So we have to wait for next year's budget. So on that, the first caller, that's what happened. And then the second caller make mention of to move to another community. Yes, we have that on our table. We will move to another community. And to let me say this: the players not from only Nukutan, they are from various communities. But we are yet to move the practice to decentralize the practice. Soon that will be done. And so I think we need to talk about the time.
To the next caller, it said how long the game play. So the game play 10 minutes per half. 10 minutes per half. So after every 10 minutes, the both teams will swap. They will change position. So that's the response to that question. And then the second caller said.
So it means the full game is 20 minutes.
Yes, and then sometimes at that time 5 or 4 depends the delay.
Because it is intense.
Yeah, it is intensive.
Yes. So you talk about the number again. So the number is 088 7923 006, and that's in Labrador Dutch and Catching Federation name. Then the orange number is 0776 44792. That's my personal number. Amos Togba.
Okay, thanks so kindly, gentlemen, thanks so kindly for being here. We appreciate you, and we hope one of these days to be able to visit one of your practices and see what it looks like. Thanks so kindly.
I want to say thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks to all our listeners out there. Thanks to the management again for opening their doors to us. Thank you as well, Julius, for your time.
Okay, good. That's how we go. Let's go over to the news now. Yep, we're out.
From the golden sand of Maryland County to the lush forest